Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. With all the news in the last week, the tragic deaths, and one we didn't even include in there was like E! News, but you had Hulk Hogan, you had Ozzy, you had Malcolm Jamal Warner. I guess I got to mention Connie Francis for those people out there. Got to mention that one too.
Chuck Mangione.
And E! News getting canceled. It seemed like and then this was just a week and a half ago, but it feels like it was last year. The scandal at the Coldplay concert, the Kiss Cam, with the company called Astronomer, and his CEO cheating on his wife, allegedly on camera on the Kiss Cam. He resigns now at this point. That's where we're at today, is he has resigned. And now where do they go from here? Well, the company is some sort of AI company, and they're not a publicly traded company. That's my first thought, was their stock's going to go through the roof because scandal brings that for some reason. It's very hard to explain what they do. Well, what they did was they hired Chris Martin's ex, Gwyneth Paltrow, as a temporary spokesman after the Coldplay concert scandal. Very fascinating situation because, well, they've been divorced. They divorced in 2016, and they have 2 kids together, too. So Gwyneth Paltrow, who, if you're not aware, is worth a couple $100 million, not from the divorce of Chris Martin, but her own money for that company Goop, which was monstrous. So she is a self-made 100 millionaire, doesn't need money, is not just an actress that was looking for her next gig. She's fine. She's doing great. She didn't have to do this, is what I'm trying to say. But she did it. Astronomer made this video, and we're going to play the video right now so you understand what we're talking about here. So they uploaded a new video with Gwyneth Paltrow, the ex-wife of Coldplay's Chris Martin, answering questions about the company because no one really knows what they do. And here it is.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300-plus employees at Astronomer.
So you can see we're already tongue-in-cheek strong here. She's, very temporary basis. It's not a serious video in a way, but they're trying to play that they're a fun company. They can bring in Chris Martin's ex and.
I would worry less about being a fun company just in general, especially now.
The eyes are.
They've proven that they like to have plenty of fun.
That's right. Damn right.
Hone in on the work part.
Yeah. Well, but because it's Astronomer, like me and Kenzie both said, I thought they were a space company. No idea they were an AI. And here's her explaining it. Here's the video that continues her as spokesman, Gwyneth Paltrow.
300-plus employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes.
So the question typed on the screen was, oh my OMG, what in the actual F? And here's how Gwyneth Paltrow answers the question.
I gotta say that as a drop. That was really funny, you reading that.
OMG, what in the actual F? Here we go. And then here's how she answers it.
Yes. Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the experience of running data, ML, and AI pipelines at scale. We've been thrilled so many people have a newfound interest in data workflow automation.
Isn't that cute? See, someone asked the questions. They're playing on the video and the thing that happened with the company, and then they're giving real answers to what they do and saying, thanks for your interest. It's cute.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
All right, there's another question comes in.
In data workflow automation. As for the other questions we received, yes.
That question was, how is your social media team holding up?
Okay.
Again, playing on the video.
Yes, there is still room available at our Beyond Analytics event in September. We will now be returning to what we do best, delivering game-changing results for our customers. Thank you for your interest in Astronomer.
Very fun.
I don't have a bunch of information.
You still don't know what they do, right?
That was still basic. Yes, they're going to start working again. What? On what? But on what?
Yeah. Well, it's very confusing and to try to figure out what the company does and what they do. Because Case read it on the air, their whole description of their About Us section on their website when this happened 2 weeks ago. Still can't figure out what they do. But I'm sure people above our pay grade understand AI, their AI applications.
I don't know. Go back to the video. Go back to the first question that she answers. I would love if somebody could explain what it is that she's talking about. Because we've made our stance on AI clear. We're not a fan of it on this show. But even the words that she says, they're not words that go together. I know the English language.
Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache Airflow, unifying the experience of running data, ML, and AI pipelines at scale. We've been
They show a little graphic with it. I don't know
I
if that
don't
helps.
know what that means.
What's
I don't-
ML?
Patchy airflow sounds like a plane. No, like what? Do they have bad like ventilation in their building?
Yeah. This is why we're not multi-millionaire billionaires.
But
because-
I'd rather do what we do than buy into to basic fit ML or whatever she said, Apache Airflow. I don't want any part of this.
What if it made us millionaires?
That's fine. I'm good. I'm happy here. Whatever she's selling, I want no part of.
I mean, I might want part of it. I don't know what it is. I might like it. I don't know.
Apparently, I'm not gonna be able to breathe while I'm there. That's all I know.
If someone can't explain it, you can call 312-591-8300. Always look for our experts out there to understand what this company actually does. And the point is, they hired Chris Martin's ex-wife, Gwyneth Paltrow, to do this. I'm just kind of surprised she said yes. Again, I made it very clear she does not need the money. And I don't know if it makes Chris Martin mad to see her do this. They have a pretty amicable divorce, and they raised 2 kids together still. So I don't think it was any kind of big contentious
I mean,
divorce.
maybe they're just as a couple laughing all the way to the bank. Like, now they get all this money off of it. But, like, it's weird if their goal was to make a dig at Coldplay. I can't wrap my head around that because Coldplay didn't do anything.
I think that they did, and that they're playing a victim role. And then definitely the CEO, there was a story that he may sue the guy that had to resign because of all this, because they made him a meme.
Yes, Andy Byron is allegedly formulating a lawsuit against Coldplay for being exposed on the Kiss Cam.
That's insane.
Invasion of privacy and
That's
emotional
like-
distress.
That's like a thief, like, suing a security camera. Like,
Yeah.
you are stealing.
I mean, when you have a lawyer on retainer like these billionaires do, he might as well sue. And you know what? He might get a payout just to make him go away. That's the sad thing.
I hope not. I hope they drag him and he ends up broke.
Yeah, I do too, because that's stupid. And I do believe, I could be wrong, but when you buy concert tickets through any platform, like if it's Ticketmaster, Live Nation, and we all scroll through the agreement deal and said, yeah, I agree. I just want to buy my tickets. I want to get them. I think in there it does say that when you go to a concert, your likeness can be used in videos.
Yeah, usually it
and-
says like they could use you like in an ad even if they want to do, or a music video if they're taking clips of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those things we just scroll past say that, and we hit agree because we don't care. We just want to go to the show, and I don't care if I'm on a screen. Put me on a screen, I'm fine.
Yeah, and like if you don't want people to see what you're doing, then don't go to an incredibly public place and do that thing.
And cheat on your wife, allegedly. Yeah, don't do that. Or your husband.
Get a room that pays by the hour like a normal person.
Yeah, go to a red roof. I think red
No
roofs are
kidding.
still pretty cheap. The red roof inns used to be like $19, those hotels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I know exact pricing for doing naughty things there, but I remember we used to get a red roof inn hotel and have parties when I was in college. We'd go have a party in the hotel rooms. So he could have done that. He didn't have to be at a
Right.
Coldplay concert in a suite, hugging her.
Yeah, very publicly. Like,
Very-
what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, I don't know how you guys see this, and you can check in at 312-591-8300 as far as, is it a dig at Coldplay? Was Gwyneth Paltrow looking for maybe a dig at Chris Martin for some reason to do this? She didn't. None of them had to do it. They're all worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The company, Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris Martin, and Coldplay. No one, and the CEO himself who had to resign. No one had to do it. But check in with us and let us know what you think on this, because we're also analyzing this entire situation. It's very curious.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're talking about Astronomer, the company where the CEO got busted at the Coldplay show on the Kiss Cam, allegedly cheating on his wife. He had to resign. Now they hired Gwyneth Paltrow to be a spokesman for the company on a very limited basis. A little fun video telling about what they do, even though everybody's curious about what the hell the company does. We'll have that in a second. We have an expert on line one. We'll get to them in a minute. But Marshall checked in from Glen Ellen and said, hey, we're fun at Astronomer. We have Hawaiian T-shirt Tuesdays and cheat on your spouse Fridays. Thanks for checking in from Glen Ellen this morning. Also, Maddie texted in and said, you're right about the ticket terms and conditions, saying he's suing, basically saying they didn't have the right invasion of privacy. But when you buy a concert ticket, those things you always zip by and hit agree, say they can use your likeness in the show if a camera goes through the audience. She says, however, they didn't buy the tickets directly. Someone at Astronomer bought the tickets for them, and then they went to the show. I think it probably would transfer. That same legal agreement that
Yeah.
you can use you. The guy's a moron. Don't cheat on your wife or your husband
At a Coldplay show.
or anyone.
You're so brave, Brian.
Yeah, that's right. Don't do it. I'm trying to be a pinnacle of the society here. Don't do it. What are you going to say, Kenzie, on that?
That you're so brave.
Oh, that I'm brave. Yeah. So I am brave.
It's like you just wanted to repeat that just so you'd feel
I know,
good about
like
yourself.
he heard me.
I thought there was something else we were going to add on there.
And strong.
And
going.
handsome.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're done.
Dave is checking in, says he can explain what the company does. In the video, she explains things, and us three morons still didn't understand it. And yet the company, he's a billionaire himself, the CEO that had to resign. I'm sure the company's worth several billion. AI company, great. Need another one of those. But Dave, you can explain what they actually do, Astronomer, as a company. Dave, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? Now, are you in this industry? Yeah. Are you a tech AI type person?
I am in the tech industry. I work for a Chicago-based company.
What was it called again?
I can't give the name, but we're based out of Chicago. It's a big tech company.
Oh, boy. That doesn't sound right.
It's Evil Incorporated. That's really, who it works for.
It really doesn't sound like it. Yeah. So you can go ahead and explain what they do so we all understand. It'd be great.
Yeah. So Astronomer is basically, it's a wrapper around Apache Airflow. Apache Airflow is an orchestration tool, right? So
I don't understand yet. Right now I don't understand.
All right. I take data from point A, move it to point B. Astronomer helps with that. And so it simplifies the whole process that could otherwise take weeks of coding by multiple developers and puts the data into a usable form. So, everyday people like you and I can open up a tool like Microsoft Excel, right, and build a little report out of it and get our answers. But it goes beyond that. It actually adds AI to the data and adds artificial intelligence, ML is machine learning, and ultimately allows the prediction of future forecasting of data, right? So what's going to happen 12 months from now with my sales numbers, for instance, right? Does that make sense?
Kenzie, you know?
So.
Kenzie?
When he's moving his information from A to B, they're using their Apache Airflow to make that easier and then adding AI images. That's what I got.
That was what
Predictive forecasting, it's called, right?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at your
So she's wrong, right? She's wrong. She's wrong.
Yeah, you're totally wrong. Totally wrong. It's okay. It's okay. We're here to learn, right? So you're using your marketing analytics to your Q101 website. It can pull that data without having to use a bunch of coders to do it, right? A bunch of developers. Pull that data very easily, put it into a database that you own, right? So you have control over the data at that point. And then you can look at it and say, hey, look, we've had 500 people click on my, news of the day link or whatever, and then they went to this part of the site and then that part of the site, and it's really easy to use. So it takes the complexities out of data movement and transformations, right?
And IP addresses and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it can track IP addresses. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Everything. Hey, listen.
Good job, Kenzie.
You're not a private person, right? You're on your laptop. Your IP, everyone knows who you are. So
Ping, ping.
what you look at.
Amen.
You got that case?
So, Dave, can't like a human just do this job and then I have like a coworker who I become friends with and hang out with? Why does it all have to be AI driven?
I am totally on your side about that, but people cost money and companies don't want to spend money.
It doesn't sound like you are, Dave. It does not sound like you are.
No. You just let in right away with you're right, but the AI is good enough.
Yeah, no, think about the shareholder.
And you don't need a friend because you're not going to stay with that friend anyway.
Well, and if I need a friend, I can just talk to AI.
Right.
It's like simulating the human experience. It's the next best thing.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
Who needs friends?
Yeah.
In case you're not going to make any friends anyway.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Winner of Piece of Garbage Madness 2025 was AI. You voted, you decided, and that's where we're going to be at. I certainly think it's probably an easy champion for 2026, at least the person to beat. I shouldn't say it's not a person. Or now I'm really in a wormhole.
It's not a person yet.
Yeah, no kidding. But we're talking about the Coldplay Kiss Cam, the company Astronomer. They're in the AI world. It led us to an AI conversation. And boy, that great listener called up and tried to explain it to us. And I don't know if we're morons or they just want to keep us dumbed down so we don't know until the missiles launch. That's what I feel like.
That was a phone call from crew member Dave. That'll be on the Brian Kenzie podcast, in which he essentially explained why we no longer need humans in the workplace and how you should kiss your coworker goodbye. Not like at the Coldplay concert, though, because you'll never see them once AI takes their job.
Well, it was interesting in this conversation about how what AI is doing, and then you don't need these people to do that. Case brought up the point, well, can't I just have a coworker?
Yeah, just like a guy that I just like seeing 5 days a week. We talk about the game from last night.
Yeah, the game.
If we just talk about the game.
Hey, did you see the game last night?
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, I did. And then that's the end of the conversation. But I would love that.
It'd be kind of nice to have a coworker.
It'd be great.
Yeah. Well, Val checked in with another angle on AI before we tell you why your flights are about to go up because of AI. Val, ahoy, welcome in.
Hi.
Hi. What would you want to bring up here in our conversation of the end of the world?
Yeah, end of the world is a great way to put it. I wanted to call because I'm very passionate about AI, not from maybe like a standpoint of how good it is, but I think it's really important to talk about what it is doing to the environment. And so, for example, when we have these big, when companies are using AI, they have to essentially store everything in a data center because, data doesn't just go into the netherworld. It exists there in a data center. And to run these data centers, it can take anywhere from 300,000 to 5 million gallons of water a day.
Whoa.
And so this is from a study from NPR, and then I also validated against another study because I don't want people to be like, she's making things up.
I was about to come at you, I got to say.
Fake news.
I would.
Fraud.
NPR, that's one of them.
Who paid you to call up the show and put this propaganda out there?
Brian.
Soros.
I have such a hatred towards corporate America, and I don't like just only looking at the positives of it. But these places are happening in like cities that have droughts, and like if you're taking all of this water, you're going to end up in like lack of drinking water for people. And like imagine your laptop getting so hot on your lap after using it all day. Imagine hundreds of thousands of hot laptops. And so that's why we need all the water to cool the centers and to run the centers. So it's not good.
I don't fully understand the use of all that water because like you can't pour water on your laptop. So
You don't do that when you're
behind the scenes water, Kenzie. Like water running behind the scenes.
Kenzie's mind is blown again today.
everyone has to grab a bucket every day.
Kenzie didn't even understand why Astronomer called Gwyneth Paltrow to get out there.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
That's a whole other thing. You can read my text to you guys about my thoughts on that. But.
Now Kenzie's going to go home and throw her laptop in the bathtub.
Oh, my laptop's hot. Hold on.
Yes.
I heard about this on my radio show.
Don't say I told you. Just look up the research. It's bad though, guys.
It really is. I appreciate you checking in and getting that word out there because this is what happened when I delivered all the pencils for the Get to the Point pencil drive. When I got out to the suburbs and saw those big buildings like way out in like, let's say Yorkville and Geneva, those buildings that are the size of Soldier Field with no windows and these weird ominous names on the buildings. That's what's going on in those buildings. There's data centers and there's people throwing laptops in bathtubs to keep them working.
Bathtubs full of laptops. It's weird.
Taking all the water that you're supposed to be drinking out there in Geneva, the good clean water, and they're using it to cool off laptops. That's what they're doing out there.
She said behind the scenes. I don't even know what that means because I feel like it's already behind the scenes in the windowless building, but I don't know.
Do you ever feel like you're going through life and everybody else knows stuff you don't like?
Yeah.
It's just like,
Explain, Kenzie.
Why does everyone else know that? And then I'll say something and I get 4,000 texts on the text line of like laughing emojis and like, really? Question mark. I'm like, yes, really. F off. I wish I knew.
Yeah.
You think I'm enjoying this?
But then again, it's also a good situation like in Joey Pants, the actor in The Matrix, who wanted to take the pill that made him dumb again and didn't know everything. He wanted to eat the steak and believe it was really steak and not a digital steak.
Well, we're talking to her.
Pass out.
And she goes, obviously all this stuff has to go somewhere. It's not just out in the, obviously. And I'm like, I didn't know that. Like, what do you mean you need it? Why do you need a big building? Isn't it just like in the, my laptop, isn't it just that it's like a little chip or something?
Isn't all the stuff in my laptop?
Where all the stuff in my laptop is going?
Yeah. Just Obviously,
For what?
Kenzie.
And like, what was it fit like in a box when it's there?
Yep. It's not just your laptop that's powering the world, Kenzie.
Why would you need a warehouse?
You need
Like,
all
there's
those-
chips in our computer.
Because you can't Google anything without that big warehouse with the servers. You can't buy something
But
from
that's
Amazon.
what Google headquarters are for. They have another, like, you see the big, they have like slides and stuff at their headquarters.
Slides?
That's where all Google stuff is. Google has like really fun headquarters. They have like slides and stuff.
You mean like kids slides?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
they've got like ping pong. They're open floor plan. Google's big
they're
on their
like
open floor
they're like
plan.
creative thinkers. But that's where like I don't think it has nothing. I'm like, yeah, Google has headquarters. That's where the Google stuff is. So there's like these. What do you mean? It's like is this like Chat GPT's building?
There's got to be somewhere. They can't be in the cloud.
Why? All you see is these guys who make websites and they're just sitting at home in their basement.
Well, there's got to be something
I
that's
don't
big to
know.
power everything. You know what? I'm not even going to continue because I don't know what the hell's going on either. I just know when I went to the suburbs, there's huge
My
buildings with no
laptop,
names on
you're
them.
telling me I go on Chat GPT and there's a warehouse receiving all that. They gotta like box it up. Is what you're telling me?
Yup.
And then it's bad for the environment. That's what Val was trying
And
to
then
get
they
at.
throw water on that box.
And then they throw water on the
Hundreds of
box.
millions of gallons of water to cool the servers. So because they get so hot, you know, like your laptop getting hot in your lap that she explained very perfectly. But you don't throw your laptop in the bathtub. Don't do that. This
I
is
don't even understand. Just turn the air conditioning on
it's not enough.
in the building.
They don't have fans that big.
You know, you get your air conditioning down like a 69, and it's kind of like, oh, still, I need a fan or something. It's not enough. That's what the computer says.
Okay.
Now, there's even worse news on AI that flights. Kenzie, this is going to really blow your
Oh
mind.
no.
If you thought you were struggling before, just you wait until we play this audio.
You were just trying to figure out why there's a building that houses everything. Well, Delta Airlines getting accused of using AI to basically dynamic price based on wherever or why you're going somewhere.
So currently, 3% of Delta flights are being priced by AI, not by Delta themselves. They are trying to make that 20% of flights by the end of the year, and why that matters is explained in this audio.
Delta Airlines just announced on their earnings call that they're going to start using some of these algorithms to price some of their tickets. And so imagine a world in which you have the death in the family, you have to go home for a funeral, and they know that through scraping your email that is, announcing when the service is going to be. They know you're in a tight spot, and so you're going to be charged much more because of that. There's so much data collected about individual people by data brokers, by this whole shadowy ecosystem that's just tracking you through your phone, through your browsing history, that there is a serious worry that companies will be able to do this.
So you see what they're saying is because the AI, all the stuff,
That's awful.
it's very bad. Very bad. Like they know you got to leave town for a funeral because of your social media or whatever. It ties that into then finding you buying a plane ticket
And just making it more expensive for you?
right, because all the data collected.
That's so evil.
It's not nice. It's not nice at all. Nope. When in,
That's disgusting.
when in the old days, they used to say, if you told them a family member died, they'd give you a free flight to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
I guess those days are gone.
Well, that's not going to pay for a CEO's yacht.
Well, that's
But he
true.
already has
That's
a
actually
yacht.
very true.
I know, because he already has one, but what if he had two?
Why have one yacht?
This is a guy with no yachts.
I mean, let's see if I have to send a card to the funeral.
So think about that next time you get ready to fly. They know why you're flying and where you're going. And that's why the ticket costs so much.
You got to start Googling weird stuff. You got to throw them off.
Yeah.
Kill them, know your next move.
You think you can stick and move?
Yeah.
You think you can do a killer
I'm going to
crossover?
Google like Disney and then like Kansas to get to the funeral. Like I got to chuck, they can't know.
You think you're going to fake out AI?
I'm going to jive.
Keep trying. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're doomed.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.